So I had a little Pollyanna wake-up call. What they call those of us who just only ever want to see the good in anybody and refuse to see the bad, how like veiled to it. We believe everybody believes as we do in the goodness and the correctness and the valor that we would choose and want to see in our environment. And so we excuse and we see, oh, they were abused as a child. We make excuses. We redeem them in a sense. And this is not a bad thing. However, we must have balance in all things. And so I've had a lot of waking up to the evils of this world, which is important so that we understand why our Creator must separate us out and destroy them from amongst us. So the most recent were one experience, awakening to the evils of this world, is people who don't believe they should keep their word. We study scripture, we learn let your yes mean yes and your no mean no. Don't make promises until you count the cost and you know that you are able to fulfill those promises. And so I don't leave people hanging. If I say I'm going to be somewhere, that I'm going to do something, I'm going to prepare ahead of time, I'm going to make sure of it, and I'm going to put everything else that I would do for myself on the back burner because I gave my word. I had a conversation with somebody who did not believe that their words should be valid. So even in the case of can't light a fire, almost got burnt down because the electric cord, the electric heater that I then put in place because the chimney was clogged on the wood stove, that sparked and started to melt the power strip it was plugged into. So the only option I have left is my small propane heater. And so I gave a person the money to do that. They said that they were going to go out in a couple of hours and they would do that. So I just had to be cold until then, or deal with the cold, because I do have layers of clothing to put on. So that's false. Not be cold. I'm sorry. Boy, my heart just wants to dig at this thing. It's not necessary. So they decided my child didn't feel good. Okay. But the next day, and they'll bring back a receipt and change and all of that. Oh no, they went out, they partied, they drank, they came back, didn't get it done. Finally, so now the chimney was going to be fixed on Monday. I had given the money and accepted the word of this person on Friday. Sunday evening, I had to go and retrieve my tank late at night when they finally came home with it. And of course, I did not get any change and I did not get a receipt, because she explained, if she says she's going to do something, it doesn't mean she's going to do it. If she doesn't use the word promise, then don't count on it. And I was appalled. So I presented the case to somebody who has been my best friend. And she's like, oh yeah, my husband thinks the same way. Can't count on them. This is normal for them. This is acceptable. And their friends, their family, everybody will still say they're a good person. And my jaw is dropped. Even now, my jaw is dropped. You cannot trust the word of these people. But then they want you on their side when it comes to them being in danger. Well, if they're in danger, they're going to say absolutely anything to get themselves out of danger. But they didn't say promise. There was no commitment. There's no signed contract. So then they can go back on their word. These are not the people that we want to form relationships with. We are never going to be able to trust them. And they are never going to change, because everybody around them still tells them that they're a good person. And so I've been going through a really tearing up inside. Now, how do I handle this? And I see compassion compels me to see how somebody like me will frustrate the hell out of them, because they tell me to do something. Yes, ma'am. I go do it. And it irritates them because suddenly they've changed their mind. They don't want that done. They don't want to provide wood for my fire. I go obtain my own wood. No, I don't want you burning that kind of wood. I only burn ash. So then they get the ash. It's filled with nails. It's green. It doesn't burn. And it clogged the chimney. Exactly what they said. The reason they said they didn't want me getting the wood. And then it's held against me. Oh, little Miss Independent, gonna take care of yourself. You rely on me for wood. You rely on me for a power cord. You rely on... I'm leaving this relationship. And convey that information. And they think, because nobody else in their world is going to follow through with their word, they think that they can abuse me verbally and emotionally and physically, because their assault comes to my eyes through text and hits my heart. If it's by voice, it hits my ears and it hits my heart and my mind, my nervous system. It is a physical assault when these people go at you and they believe this abuse is going to cause you to change your mind. They don't understand that somebody like me, whose yes means yes and no means no, they only solidify my word. If I say I'm going to go and you abuse me, I'm going to go. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have seen it over and over and over again. And that it took me this long to get it in my head that there is no immediate hope for these people as long as they're rewarded for their inconsistencies. They're unfaithful. They are unfaithful people. And that is not going to change as long as they are rewarded for it. And they do come in numbers. They do reinforce one another. They do reward one another. Whereas nobody's going to reward me for that. I could succumb. But I'm just weak. Then I'm just weak. I have no value to them. But now, at least her son's not getting yelled at, and her father's son isn't getting yelled at, because all her attention is focused on me. So at least somebody's getting a break from her vicious, vile assaults and blackmail. So at least there's that mercy. Somebody else is getting a vacation from it. The things we learn and the things we achieve.